That hit me like a ton of bricks when I was 16. It's like, whoa, great lesson. In this video, I'd like to talk with you about some stumbling blocks that often happen when people have their long-term goals and their short-term tasks and how to get over them. We'll start off with a story about mowing lawns. The question might come up, well, Keith, what's a mowing lawn story got to do with success in the long term? Let me tell you. When I was 16 and I got my driver's license back in the early, maybe 1980, I had a job mowing lawns for people. So I'd borrow my parents' VW van, orange, very stylish, and I'd put the lawnmower in there and I'd go mow lawns. Well, I had this new contract with some apartment buildings in a neighboring city. So I would put my lawnmower in there, drive about the 20, 30 minutes to this neighboring city, mow the lawns by the apartment, and then at the end of the month, I sent them a bill, and they didn't pay it. And I sent them another bill, and they didn't pay it. Finally, I called them, and I said, hey, I have an agreement to mow the lawns, and you're not paying the bill. You know what they said? We don't have an agreement with you. That hit me like a ton of bricks when I was 16. It's like, whoa, great lesson. Great lesson to learn early. If we don't have something written down, we don't really have a contract. We might have a verbal agreement or a verbal understanding, but if it's an agreement that's going to be enforced, it needs to be written down. Now, how does that apply to us? With our long-term goals, our big, the thing that we want in 10 years, that needs to be written down. What does it feel like? What kind of a home do we live in? What kind of relationships do we have? What kind of a career do we have? All those details as far as what we'd want, and be adamant about those goals. And then as we start breaking those down into smaller chunks and tasks, like a 5-year goal and a 1-year goal and a 1-month goal and things that we need to be doing every week, break those down and write those out on our priority list and make sure we do them and have somebody hold you accountable for it. So for example, back in, it was 2001, I got my first CCIE with Cisco Systems. And prior to that, I spent like 8 months, about 4 to 5 hours a day, 4 to 5 days a week, practicing and studying. And I did have an accountability buddy. It was Ed Yanez. Hey, Ed. And he saved my bacon because he helped keep me on task and keep me studying. So as you have your goals, as we've discussed in the previous videos in the success series, maybe we keep our big, huge goals fairly private. But as far as the intermediate tasks and the smaller goals, go ahead and get a buddy or a friend or someone to help keep you accountable for those smaller goals and then measure. So one thing that often happens is that there's so much data coming in, so many things to do. It's like, where do I start? Well, here's an idea that I think will be very helpful for you in getting in the direction of your goals and getting stuff done. And that is, find somebody that you trust, a friend, a loved one, and watch these videos together. In this success series, there's like less than 10 videos. They're just 5 to 8 minutes each long. And watch one of those a day, every day, together. Or commit to watching it and then discussing it. And out of every video, I have an action item that I've asked you, I've invited you to join me doing, including prioritizing and making lists of those things that we need to do and visualizing where we want to be in 10 years and investing in yourself and being accountable to other people. So that's a good starting point. If everything is just like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Start now. Find a friend. Watch these videos. They're very short, very easy, very motivational, and then do those things that I'm asking you to do in those videos. Now, if you're thinking, well, Keith, I watched these videos, but you haven't yet actually taken the steps to do those small little things in the direction of your goals, I invite you to get an accountability buddy, to get somebody who's a friend or a loved one, and start doing that now. And watch each of the videos until you've actually done the action item. And so maybe that's the commitment. I'm going to watch these videos over and over until finally my subconscious and my conscious mind are going to agree, okay, I need to do this. And you know what? Once we make the decision to make those small tasks and start acting and behaving in the direction of our goals, it is not difficult to do. It's not hard to do, and it is totally worth it. I am a case study for the fact that anybody can improve their situation dramatically by setting 10-year goals, by breaking them up into smaller chunks. And here's what I discovered also. On the journey to my 10-year goals, I discovered that the world was not like I thought it was. Things didn't always work the way that I thought they would. And so I have to be flexible, and that's why it's important to have our goals, our short-term goals, written out and tasks, and then be flexible. If something bad happens, we adjust, but keep on going. That's the secret. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a first step, but it is accomplished by continue walking in that direction. So be adamant about your big-term visions, be consistent about your small-term tasks, and don't give up. And if you need somewhere to start with this series. Less than 10 videos, a few minutes each day watching it until you start doing those action items that I'm calling out in this video and in this series. So I appreciate you joining me in this journey on the world of self-improvement and self-development, making our lives better and better every day, every week, every month, every year. So thank you for both watching and actively participating as part of this success series, and I'll see you, my friend, in the next one. And this is a test of my audio. Is it overdriven? Is it overdriven? Is it underdriven?